e-gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 between Arcade Power Rangers and Elements Pro Gaming. Power Rangers are currently 1 game up, and we have a change of roster as well, Durka.
Yep, they've lost a player, and now we've got Arise, the best Magnus EU. What's that face for? Oh, he switched off the camera as he's making that face as well, you cheeky devil. He's the best damn player this world has ever seen.
Smashing heads and taking names.
Measure your words. It's DDoS, guys. It's DDoS.
Arise is here to smash heads and chew bubblegum. And he's all out of bubblegum. Anyway, it's game number 2. Welcome, everybody. Tusk Darkseer is going to be the opener for Arcade Power Rangers. Ember Spirit and Dazzle is the response from Elements. You know, I recently read on Reddit, in fact, during this break, that Elements is actually put together by some chess grandmasters or some shit.
I read that, but I don't know if I can believe Reddit, honestly.
Me neither, but
I kind of glanced through it and I was like,
I think there's one person from the CIS scene that's like a grandmaster at chess. I forgot what his name was. Frostnova, that's right. Frostnova. Anyway, he's been around the scene for a very long time.
how long?
He was a player back in the Dota 1 days.
We see the Darkseer this time. Darkseer Tusk. Ember's a pretty good hero against the DS though, and Dazzle equally so good at zoning him out. It's unless they run a dual lane with the Darkseer, it's not going to be an easy lane for Cheshire Cat, I don't think. You can just look at that. Elements ban out the Magnus. The respect for Arise.
Yeah, I mean, when they already have Darkseer and Tusk, I think it makes it pretty valid that they could go Magnus and then like some sort of like, I mean, any hero that would benefit from the cleave, like an Animage, and they could just wombo combo down Elements. Nine Stalker now picked up by Elements. I like this pickup because it's not only a strong hero for Elements, but I think it also maybe prevents it. No, I guess not. You can't actually work it into Arcade's lineup, despite the fact that Night Stalker would be a great counter to the Ember Spirit. And they already have both the Tusk and the Darkseer. You can't afford another melee 3-4 position.
Yeah. It's your screen hero as well. Like Araman Dazzle, screen on the Night Stalker if you can't get that Tusk.
Yeah.
Kind of an ordinary pickup. But I'm wondering, who plays the Ember here? Is it going to be General because he's been swapping back and forth between mid and safe lane?
I would guess General. I'm not sure.
Because Yoku played a bit of Ember Spirit when he was on when he
I don't think it was very good though.
When he went back to Empire for like the 3rd time, he was
Yeah.
playing Ember Spirit.
10
I
seconds remaining.
honestly, I don't think his performances mid or carry have been spectacular
5 seconds
since
remaining.
he left the offlane from his first showing on Empire. Like
Yeah.
his offlane play on
Reserve
Empire with his
time.
offlane Sand King, Rubik, and all these funky heroes, even the regular
10
ones, you know, his
seconds
Clockworks and stuff
remaining.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy. He was, you know, top 5
Dire
offlaner
team
in the world. Honestly, he was that good.
But he doesn't want to play it anymore.
It's a shame.
Wonder why. I wonder what's going through his head.
He wants the fame and glory.
All right, an Earthshaker now picked up for Elements. Is that going to be an offlane Earthshaker in a 4 position because, you know, screen likely to play the Night Stalker, or
10
Yeah, more likely.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Arcade.
which means Arcade could actually just rotate their supports out of lane. You know, if it's an Earthshaker
Reserve
versus a
time.
Gyrocopter, they really don't need much support there. So if they just get the Gyrocopter up to like level 5, they could pretty heavily roam with their other support, which we don't know what that hero is yet.
Do you think about a support silencer here? I would usually say Disruptor, but Disruptor against Ember
Ranger at your service.
is kind of 50-50. You've got to get that Static
Radiant
Storm straight
team
down.
banned.
I guess he's good against Dazzle and Night Stalker. Maybe the Disruptor's a little bit better. I just want something that has the AoE synergy with Darkseer
Dire
Gyro,
team
but you
banned.
need something that can zone out Darkseer. Zone out the Earthshaker / Night Stalker pretty well. And you need something that ties this team all together. Because the AA wasn't a bad
Radiant
band.
team pick.
I personally prefer the Disruptor. Skyreth Mage doesn't really fit the AoE component too well, though it actually takes advantage of both the Tusk and the Wind Ranger picked up. Oh, Elements
Dire
grab a
team
Huskar.
pick.
Now, we do have a Wind Ranger on Arcade, so they aren't completely countered by the Huskar. You also have Walrus Punch, that's not bad. They also have potentially aggressive lanes that they could run. I mean, they already have the setup of a dual lane potentially with Tusk Darkseer, which can be very dangerous no matter who you're up against. So there is definitely ways that Arcade can still win this game
10
despite
seconds remaining.
having their Gyrocopter countered by Huskar.
5
That
seconds
5th
remaining.
AA ban. I mean, usually when you see the AA ban in like the 2nd phase, you're like, oh, Huskar, you know,
Reserve time.
Yeah.
at the end. But because it's 5th ban and Arcade are looking for a final support, it's less obvious that the Huskar was coming out, even though you have picked Gyro, Darkseer, 2 very magic, heavy heroes in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Silencer works decently here. Pure damage from the Glaives can annoy the Huskar, but the global against things like Dazzle Ember, you stop the Grave coming out, and Huskar sometimes, especially against the Wind Ranger, heavily relies on that Grave to keep him going in these team fights.
Silencer, Disruptor. What are supports are good versus Huskar?
There really aren't that many.
Yeah.
Especially when you're ideally looking for a range support here, right? Because you've got the Darkseer Tusk. Bane is
okay.
gone.
Bane.
Yeah.
Spanned out.
Unless you can, like, no one considers Enchantress or Chen anymore. Like, they would potentially be heroes that are good against the Huskar
10
just because of, you
seconds
know,
remaining.
impetus from the Ench, and then obviously the creeps from Chen, being able to heal up your allies or send them back. Oh,
I was about to say, they could still get greedy and go for a melee hero of some kind, which opens up the strength heroes. They go for the Spirit Breaker, so they'll have this dual lane scenario, Spirit Breaker and Darkseer, I guess. The Tusk going to be sitting top with Gyrocopter and then roaming around. I don't know, which do you think is better? Tusk Darkseer or Spirit Breaker Darkseer? Spirit Breaker is tankier, but Tusk allows both the heroes. If you double Ion Shell, you can get both of them on top of a hero with Snowball.
yeah, it's the weighing up as well. It's like Ice Shards, Snowball, you trap the Huskar or someone in, and then you've got the double Ion Shell with that damage just over time consistently. But then you
10
also have to weigh up
seconds remaining.
Ice Shards plus Rocket Barrage. And whether the Spirit Breaker
5
gives you
seconds
enough
remaining.
space and time for the Gyro to catch up onto someone.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends which lane they want to put more pressure on, whether it's the off lane or the safe lane.
Prepare for battle.
Could they run aggro try with Spirit Breaker, Tusk, and Darkseer, and just you can have triple Ion Shell now.
Yeah,
you know?
Technically you can do that.
And you just run at them.
For what, 7 seconds you can have 3 different Ion Shells up at a time?
I mean,
can you imagine that? You just like... So 3 Ion Shells at level 1, let's say. That's 90 damage a second. And then Snowball, which automatically does 140 damage. So 140 damage, 90 damage a second, and then right clicks as well. I don't know how anybody survives through that.
and Huskar isn't the best early on, especially he doesn't have Ring of Protection. He's got pretty much no armor to deal with it. So
Yeah,
he's that's going to get you.
He's very susceptible to early pressure.
Oh, just look at them. They want it.
All right, so Power Rangers, they're not going to make the same mistake that Elements did in game number 1 as the Dire side. They're going to be heading down to the bottom route and claiming that one. Elements will take top. So it's going to be a General Ember Spirit, as we suspected. Barash is going to be playing the Wind Ranger mid. And we are going to have a Tusk Darkseer as our lane.
And this is game number 2, guys. The little pips at the top of the scoreboard. It's not been activated.
Oh, yeah. Yep, game 2. Arcade Power Rangers are up 1 game. Barash, well, he didn't get a block on the creep wave, so this creep equilibrium is not going to be too favorable for him. But General does pull it back into the tower, so...
I kind of feel this is okay for the Wind Ranger, because you can go aggressive up onto the high ground, and now you drag it back far enough. That the Ember Spirit, like, what's the Ember Spirit's last hits now? 1 and 0. It's fine. Is bottom lane fine though?
Yeah, Big Num's taking a lot of damage right now. He was hoping for an opportunity to get some sort of snowball or ice shards play. In the meanwhile, ZXE, this is the problem of running an off-lane Earthshaker. He's 1v1 against a Gyrocopter, unlikely to punish the Gyro for this kind of positioning. The bottom lane's definitely going to be the most interesting one to watch, though. Just because they can do, you know, so much damage doesn't necessarily mean they can win the fight, though. With the Dazzle Huskar. Such a incredibly overpowered duo.
And Nightstalk is tanky as well. I don't think he's really a target you can necessarily go on. Look at them. Farming up this camp so there's no pulling capability from this Radiant safe lane.
It's kind of an interesting way. Getting them to level 2 that much faster. J4 has his. Yeah, we just need it on Tusk.
How's top lane going? Gyro should be pretty much demolishing this lane. Yeah, 0 last hits for the Earthshaker. ZXC. Have a rough time up here.
How does he still have 0 last hits? He's has he not used Fisher yet?
There's no clarities.
I guess. Wouldn't you go enchant Totem in this lane first, though? Just for the guaranteed last hits? It's very cheap mana-wise.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I would just go, like, enchant Totem Aftershock in my first 2 levels.
0, 2, 1.
Because he's got to get to his Soul Ring in this kind of lane. Trank Boots, Soul Ring, if he wants to be able to match the Gyrocopter's farm. So that first, like, 3 minutes of CS is, I think, incredibly important.
Look at these lads. Big Num and J4. With the Illusion Rune up on the Tusk, actually tanking through the Mud Golems. And now the Huskar is very far forward, actually.
Yeah, Big Num, he only has Snowball, no Ice Shard, so again, they can't really go. Man, this really delayed level 2 for Tusk is actually killing their lane, I think. They don't have any offensive power. They just Snowball. It's never going to work. They need the full combo. So it's here now, but highly doubt they want to be diving tower for it.
I think the dive's
Or
coming.
maybe they do if they can find RMN. That would be worth it. Not getting it just yet. Turn around. They get some Ion Shell damage onto Screen. They are going to try and go onto him. Cheshire Cat is pulled into the Snowball and will be able to surge himself away, but Screen does see him. He's got 1 right click in order to finish him off, and that's going to be your first blood. Arcade Power Rangers a little bit too split. He does have an Ice Shard to throw it on Screen, but doesn't actually go for it. On the right-hand side, the Spirit Breaker dies to the Huskar. First blood double kill going to Yoku as the Huskar. That is not the start that Arcade Power Rangers were hoping for with this aggressive tri-lane.
If Shards don't block in the Dazzle, they switch target like 3 or 4 times, realizing they can't kill Night Stalker, can't kill Huskar, maybe try and kill a Dazzle, but they just dipped and dived a little bit too much and couldn't get the damage output there. And you're right, the Shadow Wave from Dazzle, level 2 Brave up and running also. Way too much sustain for them to actually break through.
Radiant's middle
I mean, maybe if the
tower
Wind
is
Ranger
under
had a good
attack.
rune and rotated bot, that would have been great for them. They get all 3. But now you wonder, this aggro tri-lane, they're going to stick it out? They're moving back down here again.
I really think they should have just dual laned.
Is there one of these situations where we're that far in, we've just got to continue playing aggressively now?
I mean, they could have just roamed onto middle lane, you know, caught out the Ember Spirit early.
Big Num is...
Now,
in trouble.
Yoku, they're trying to go onto him. The snowball is actually going to go on the right-hand side. Big Num, they will survive because of that one, but Yoku does get the Shallow Grave at the perfect time. Yoku's going to die, but he's going to make sure there's a turnaround kill. J4 is definitely going down. Going to try and catch more. Big Num. General's here. That's actually going to be terrible. As Big Num, he's definitely going down. Cheshire Cat, he's going to move right to try and perhaps get a TP, but General, he still has the chains up. He eats through the trees. Beautiful juke. Still has a surge, but the chains are going to catch him, and Cheshire Cat will now die.
Being absolutely demolished on this lane. And again, Wind Ranger got a bounty rune at bot, didn't rotate down, even though they're trying to play aggressively into the Huskar, who was very far up once more. But General's the guy who makes the first move. Without TPing, he just wanders his way down there, finds the opening. And Arcade, it's time to change things up. Honestly, I think you just put Tusk down here, farm jungle with Darkseer or something. And have the Spirit Breaker roaming around a little bit, but they're going to go back in again. They are doing dual lanes now, though. J4's up at top.
Yeah, they just started J4 at the top lane, and he had gotten that fast level 2 by like minute and a half, and he just like roamed. Just like constantly putting pressure on the Ember Spirit. You never see this scenario where General has gone to level 7 now and hasn't died. Putting pressure on the Ember Spirit in the pre-level 6 is such an important strategy. Shackle Shock does go down. Barish is going to be able to pick up, nice double damage rune with the Focus Fire. This is going to help out a lot, but General just turns around, goes on to Barish even more, but now it's going to be blocked in. General, that was not the play. He thought he could pop the Wind Ranger for some reason, but that turns out to be completely wrong, and Wind Ranger will take him down with that DD.
It was level 4 Flame Guard. I think he envisioned being able to pop all 3 of them with the Remnant Spam out there. You got to remember, these heroes are still very tanky. You know, 800 HP across a bunch of them. And Wind Ranger, DD rune is not what you're looking for as a target. Now she's up to a very good pace of farm, honestly, with 1 kill, 42 last hits. 7 minutes in with phase boots and a ton of gold to spare. Now TPing away, making sure that there's no follow-up. General doesn't have slight.
Huh, that's... I mean, did he want phase boots that bad, I guess? Courier was in use at the top lane at the time, so... It just seemed like that was unnecessary. Like, he had almost full HP, full mana.
I think it's a mix of like 3 or 4 things. You don't know where the rest of the Radiant heroes are. You know, General's coming in.
Yeah.
Your bottle had like 1 charge left with no runes available. Like you said, Courier was top. So it's like refill bottle, get phase boots, back to lane, and then you start really focusing on shutting General down. Because what does he do here? Try and outlane the Wind Ranger. She's got Focus Fire.
Big Num coming in as well. Obviously, they can't get a kill unless they land Shackle Shot and chain their stuns pretty well. Top lane, we do have Screen. Here was the Exceed. They're going to try and go on J4. J4 is still plenty tanky, though. They get the Shackle Shot. The Ultimate's going to go down from the Gyrocopter, and this is not the play. The Echo Slam misses J4. Oh, he barely goes down at the last second to the Earthshaker, but that's going to be 2 for 1. Arise will pick up the double kill there. How did Earthshaker get the kill?
I'm not sure. I was still watching.
Oh, it was one of the remaining Echo Slam.
The little
Yeah, the
little shockwaves that went out.
Yeah.
I was watching bottom lane because Cheshire Cat, I mean, you're against an armlet Huskar, you've got to TP away from this. He's just been running around the trees.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Yoku
under
has
attack.
stepped up the pace here. He's really, really ramping it up. 8 minutes on this Huskar with an armlet. It's a decent timing. Not amazing, but it'll get him to where he wants to be, which is on top of this Gyrocopter.
They're certainly going to need to not let him take Roshan, that's for sure. General's quite low here. The charge is coming out, but obviously
Radiant's middle
charge
tower is
not
under
really
attack.
well timed. They needed to be able to find a shackle shot opening before the Spirit Breaker reached his target.
So now what's the plan for keeping this Huskar down? Because roaming onto him is not going to be easy. You're going to have to commit 3-4 heroes, including the Wind Ranger, to TP down there. He's got a good start. It's just that Aghanim's Rush has to come out of her. Like, you can't really go for a Blink Dagger as your first item in this game, I don't feel. Just because there is a Huskar, you need that Focus Fire to be able to go from one target to another. I mean, you'd love to have a Blink against an Ember Spirit. Jump, Blink, Shackle, and keep him locked down. But if you focus too much on actually roaming up to the Huskar, then you leave things open for the Ember. You give the Earthshaker time to get Blink. There's all these 3 big, beefy targets that make your life a living hell, honestly, is the Dire, that you need to put a lot of emphasis on killing.
Dire's bottom
Let's take a look at
tower is
Cheshire
under
Cat, what he's
attack.
doing now.
And he's trying to clear through some of these stacks. Not very big stacks. Double on both sides, but he's laying claim to some of it. Gets about half the CS there and gets a lot of the experience.
I can't really stop him from TPing away. It's down to Earthshaker and Ember Spirit to really get the Fissures and Chains down onto this Darkseer. Gyro? Where is he? Back at Fountain. Yeah. Phase Boot Sanj. Is it time yet? Is it time to run down to this bottom lane?
Yeah, I guess you probably try and do it now. Cheshire Cat going to be caught by General, though. Quick kill as Yoku locked on as the Huskar.
Yeah, they're smoking behind tier 2 here. So Wind Ranger, Tusk, Gyro, you have to go and do something about this Huskar.
It's the wrong time for it, though. If they had their Darkseer, this would be clearly so much better, but we'll see. They are going to run into Yoku. Manage to get the stun off on him. Walrus punching down. RMN also going to die, so the smoke does work out. Quite proliferate for Power Rangers.
Just go back to their lanes and do what they were doing before. The one difference is, though, Arise is on this bottom lane, so when Huskar TP's down here, there's no one to support him. I think Arise might have to go and TP up the top. Get himself back to farming. What are we looking at, like, level-wise? We've got ultis across the board, apart from Spirit Breaker, who's been given top lane, so he'll get there soon. And that Nether Strike is incredibly good against this against this Ember Spirit, as well as this Huskar. So being able to chase these heroes around the map is really what J4 has to look to do. But it's key items. The Darkseer needs mech. I wonder if he skips Arcanes here. Just the fact that they don't have another Arcanes carrier. Tusk went Phase Boots, and there's no one else to go for it. And they do have a pretty mana-reliant team.
Yeah.
I guess he kind of has to.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
I think that'll be fine, though.
And then Tusk with his like slight farm priority over the Spirit Breaker. Do you think Silver Edge is what he aims for, or do you look for the Wind Ranger to get that? Or do you just ignore Silver Edge completely and just rely on the Shackle Shot Focus Fire for Huskar?
Yeah, maybe an early Veil of Discord wouldn't be bad. Like, Silver Edge is a nice item, but I don't think it's the be-all, end-all. I think they should just focus on their teamfight prowess right now, instead of trying to just
single target Huskar.
Yeah, directly counter one hero. But I think, I mean, honestly, I feel Veil of Glimmer Cape, rather, is really valuable versus Huskar. Oh, the Walrus Punch misses. ZXD, if he actually gets off the Echo Slam, oh, that was so close. He could have guaranteed at least one kill, but now Big Num's going to be able to stay ahead of Screen thanks to the help of the Surge. Cheshire Cat, he'll take the Silence and Void instead, but he's still quite tanky. Good Ice Shards make sure that Cheshire Cat does escape.
There's no Huskar there, though. He's still down a bottom lane. I wonder if Dire could have actually turned to fight down, because the Invis Gyro was walking his way up the top. But, like, he's pretty slow. He's actually pretty damn slow without activating his Phase Boots.
Yeah,
Still
he
doesn't
really
have
is.
that Yasha up. But
It'll all be worth it if you can get the right ultimate here. Looks like he should be able to. J4 is level 6, so technically they can actually go for the quick kill on General, but it's probably a lot easier just to go on RMN. He is going to be charged up. They'll get the kill before the Shallow Grave gets laid out. Now General Well, they're thinking about going out the ultimate. ZXC's going to come in with the Echo Slam. The vacuum solves him up, but now the snowball comes through. He gets off the Echo Slam, but it's demolishing Elements as they take the full force of that combination, and they lose 3.
Again, General in a situation where he could have just rented out, run away, bailed on the fight, decided he wants to turn around, and honestly, it didn't look that bad for them. It's just the snowball, vacuum, everything
Radiant's
working
top
in
tower
synergy
is under
perfectly
attack.
for Arcade there, bringing it all together. And Arise, that Invis rune paid off. They get the Dazzle initially, and again, chain stunned with the Rocket Barrage over the top.
Screen too far forward. Walrus Punch. He's going to be caught here. Barish doesn't actually have the mana for a powered shot, but it doesn't matter.
No misses. How lucky can you get?
Yeah. I mean, if any hero is going to be obnoxious and
It's a
ignore a status effect, it's going to be Wind Ranger.
50% chance to miss, and she got, what, 4 hits in there?
And she literally just laughs it off. what an awful hero. Aghanims is going to be coming in soon, though, for Wind Ranger.
How soon? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. SNY as well, coming in for the Gyrocopter pretty quick. Cheshire Cat does go for the Arcane Boots. We'll be getting the Guardian Greaves eventually. They're keeping an eye on Roshan, which is a good sign for Power Rangers. They haven't forgotten about that part of the Huskar. Saw earlier that Husk threw ice shards into the Roshan pit. Elements are still looking okay.
Yoku has been very quiet the past 5 minutes or so. You know,
Yeah.
Lane was 1 against that aggro try, but he hasn't TP'd aggressively anywhere, hasn't really tried to make plays, and I think more importantly, hasn't taken tier 1 at
Radiant's
bottom lane.
middle tower
With
is
all these
under
heroes
attack.
rotating up the top for the Dire, it's kind of interesting that he's not hard shoved the lane towards this tower, but they will try to go for the wraparound.
Dire's
General
bottom tower is
for
under
going
attack.
farm for a little bit of a
Radiant's
play
middle
down on
tower
bot.
is under
Big Num
attack.
backs himself up at the right time, but still gets silenced up.
You got that silence. They're going to be diving in deep for this one. There is the TP response. Big Num's definitely dead, but is there going to be a turnaround? Shackle shot on a General, and he does have Weed on him, helping to protect. Now the Gyrocopter ultimate's going to be dropped. They're going to be able to pick up the Dazzle. Still, though, Yoku gets the Shallow Grave. Is going to be kept alive for a long time coming. Armlet comes in. The Musil actually stunning him up for a little while. Arise is going to try and get out of that one, but he gets taken out by the Ember Spirit. Screen is quite low. Barash is trying to catch up to him. Cheshire Cat shows Screen, but Barash is a little bit too low. Does have the magic wand charges. Can potentially get out of this one to win run. ZXC has Fisher up in a second. Will throw it down. Barash is low enough. They can get this kill with the help of General as he comes in with Ren. Cheshire Cat is up next. More TPs coming in, though. And Elements, they claim this kill. Big Num still has the chance to be able to respond. General's caught here. Big Num still has a Walrus Punch. There is going to be the charge. He's just trying to stall up the delay. Snowball plus charge should mean the General dies here. The Fisher gets laid out. He has plenty of mana, but not enough to be able to throw out a Remnant. Just enough for a sleight of fist. ZXC, now he's going to be the next target, and he knows it too. Charge is coming in soon. Does have an Echo Slam, tries to go for the Enchant Totem play. Fisher coming up soon. If he can make the right Fisher play, he might be able to get out, but an Ice Shard blocks him in, and ZXC will die.
Big Num playing it close there. 40 HP. But at the start of that fight, Arcade, you know, they all locked in on that Huskar, right? It's like, okay, kill the Huskar, deal with them as quickly as you can. He just wasn't dying. Midway through the fight, there were 2 heroes from Arcade hiding to the east in those trees, the Wind Ranger and Arise's Gyro,
Radiant's
just
bottom tower is
cowering
under
in fear.
attack.
While General was allowed to spam Sleight of Fist, which is up to level 3 already.
Power of the Dazzle Huskar.
And then, of course,
Radiant's
Elements
middle
dived a little bit
tower
too
is
far
under
behind the
attack.
tier 2, getting the
Radiant's
additional
middle
kills,
tower
which
is
really in
under
the end.
Oh,
weren't worth
Cheshire
it.
Cat going to be slowed down. Yoku is going to be able to hit the ultimate here, but the silence is going to wear off soon, but not soon enough. Cheshire Cat's definitely dead. That's why he just throws out the vacuum. Yoku is going to be the target here. They have the Walrus Punch. Can they finish him off? The Armlet Toggle isn't there. Screen's going to be the next target. J4 has now switched up his charge to hit Screen, and they'll claim another kill here. Fisher actually blocking it out, but he actually came to Dazzle. Where was Dazzle in all of that? He actually died on left-hand side to a flat cannon shot.
That was a long way out.
Yeah, what the hell? Did he just, like, drop? Did he try and dive tower a little bit and drop low?
I don't know, my camera was just like on the fight, right? And I
Yeah.
Dazzle just dies somewhere over to the east.
I saw double kill and I was like, what? Night Sucker isn't dead yet.
Somehow gets it. And this game is super back and forth. These fights is
Dire's
a
middle
little
tower is under
dictating who's going to win them apart.
ZXC?
From first.
That is not the place to be. That is definitely not the place to be.
Radiant structures
I honestly think it's just whoever initiates first wins the fight. And then after that, it's a case of whether you dive too far for additional kills.
All right, Yoku's going to go on a J4. There's a shackle shot there. He's got the charge. J4's just looking at the target, but the void stops him. If he just thrown it out sooner, maybe he could have escaped. Now Ace, or sorry, Arise. He's chased away by General, but not enough to be able to get that kill. Farm up some stacks. If they could just get this mech on Cheshire Cat, things will look a lot better for Power Rangers. They'll actually have some sort of sustain against the Huskar.
As the game goes later, though, with Nightstalker getting into like Ags and Gem, and this Earthshaker being 400 gold away from his Blink now, I really like Elements, if the game continues at this pace, being back and forth. There are actual chances, definitely, here.
Yeah, I agree. There is a lot of pressure on Power Rangers to be the one to end the game in the next, like, 15, 20 minutes, or at least, you know, claim enough of a net worth lead. They're going to go for Roshan, which I think is a pretty smart play. They can't continue to fight Elements for every single tower. So they'll give up the top one in exchange for the Aegis, which does kind of ensure that they should be able to win the next fight. They're going to head down to the bottom lane where the tier 1 tower is already low. Not low enough for Screen to go for the deny, though. It looks like he's going to be caught in the process, though. Power Rangers actually set up a perfect trap on him. There's no escape for Screen there. He's going to be TP, though. Looks like somehow Elements are going to try and fight this one out. Yoku actually doesn't get hit by that shackle shot, and he's going to be able to survive for a while, but a snowball buys Gyrocopter a lot of time. They're going to come out. Echo Slam gets laid down, but Arise is going to be able to get away unless the tower shots finish him off. Doesn't look like that's the case, though, and Power Rangers, they're all somehow still alive. I can't believe this. The Tusk, he finally goes down, but General, he's the target now. Bounces over, actually hits the Spirit Breaker, but it doesn't finish him off. General vacuum back, has another remnant forward. He still has that homing missile coming in, though.
All those chains.
And Barash, he's got a power shot up in 3 more seconds. He could try and dive the tower for it, but doesn't look like he wants to.
If those chains hadn't hit the Wind Ranger there, he was dead for sure. The shackle shot, focus fire already, power shot, like you said, coming back up again in a couple of seconds' time. But Arcade initiate. They get the first pick off. Numbers advantage goes their way, and Elements, it looks okay. They TP in, they react pretty well to this. Huskar stayed alive through the grave for a hell of a long time.
It really seems like
General should be okay here, right?
Nothing should come of it. Oh, the
except
shackle
that
shot
tree.
launches. Okay, never mind. Barash can't go that forward. Anyway, the Tusk is actually a very significant counter to the Huskar. I never realized it before. I mean, he's got the Walrus Punch, you know, physical damage, but the snowball save, just because of the fact you can hold somebody in there for so long, is actually really good.
Even the
Try and jump out now. Bignum gets some distance. Screen's going to catch up here, but he does have the backup of J4 and Barash.
Like, Sigil is super good against Huskar as well.
That's
like,
true.
In my pub games, I'm always picking Tusk against Huskar and go for Silver Edge if I can. But I really love the like 4-1-4 build, because Huskar really does get kited pretty nastily by things like that. You get slowed down in fights.
Oh, Screen. He managed to prevent J4 from getting off anything there. They can easily go for this kill on J4. In fact, he's chained up, so he will die. Overextension by him. He really wanted to keep the Earthshaker from getting his Blink Dagger, but actually ends up feeding it to him anyway. Barash completes his TP here and actually goes on to Huskar. Might be able to fight this until the Halberd comes into play. This is why we're going to need to see Barash go for an MKB rather than a completed Daedalus. He's now going to be slowed down. Gyrocopter still has his ultimate. Waits until the opportunity to throw it down. Homing missile to lead. Barash gets some time to get some damage onto Huskar. He gets a Shell Grave at the right time. Snowball's going to come out. Yoko's definitely dead. He's just trying to get out damage. They did hit one of those Gyrocopter ultimates on RMN, slowing him down enough, but he managed to complete his TP anyway.
Good little dip into the trees there. But yeah, we're seeing Shadowblade on the Tusk and Shadowblade, I think, over on J4 Spirit Breaker, so they're both going for the Shadowblades themselves. I don't know if they'll both complete them into Silver Edges, but definitely getting that bit of physical damage, got a bit of attack speed, and obviously the invis to try and save them out from that Huskar. But now you're looking at Screen, who's closing in on the Aghanim Scepter, will get close to the gem. Darkseer, Greaves are up. And Arcade are honestly getting closer and closer to a great position to actually just ending the game. The one question I have is, why has Wind Ranger gone for a crit?
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that there's going to be an innovation item on Huskar, whether it's Solar Crest or Halberd. So
I mean,
maybe he thought he was far enough ahead that he could warrant Crystallis just because it's such cheap damage.
Yeah.
And thought, okay, I'll still be able to get MKB at a decent timing against the Halberd.
You have so many different options as well. You can go BKB against the Night Stalker and Ember Spirit's damage, obviously against Lifebreak and Burning Spears.
Puncha! Oh, hello.
Horza!
Hello there, Earthshaker. He's gonna come down to Earth, blocked up by the Ice Shard, Snowball to finish him off.
That trick won the great brawl at the Whitefields.
I knew it was coming, so I just stayed deathly silent. Wait for the hero response. Right, there we go. Something's gone wrong.
Arise!
What was this? Oh yeah, you've got so many options for the Wind Ranger. Like BKB would be good against the magic damage and Huskar himself.
True.
Blink Dagger, good against Huskar for repositioning, because we saw in that last engagement where the Wind Ranger was running away from the Huskar and dropped the Aegis. Yoku managed to position himself in such a way that there was no way to get a shackle to latch onto a tree behind, or a hero or anything like that. If you can blink and shackle him, that's just a guaranteed way to potentially even just straight up kill the Huskar. Then there's the MKB route, which, you know, we've talked about already. And crits, I guess, against heroes like Dazzle and Ember Spirit, who are relatively weak if you do get a lockdown on them, which there's tons of here from Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the Huskar, focus his team. It's a pretty good way, honestly, of trying to deal with him. Leave him till last.
17 to 25. 23 minutes in. It's about a, 7,000 gold lead right now? Yeah. 7K for Arcade Power Rangers. 8,000 experience ahead as well. Items haven't really been stalled up necessarily for the cores of elements, or at least their 1 and 2 position, but the supports are a little bit stalled up. Fortunately, they have everything they kind of need. Like the Axe is still going to come in at a decent time for a screen. You have ZXC with the Blink Dagger and Earthshaker. That's all you really need on an Earthshaker. Obviously, everything else is a little bit luxury.
That's the thing. They've forgone farm on the Dazzle and the Earthshaker a hell of a lot here, but General has an exceptional timing on his BOTs and Battle Fury. Like, he's not had a great game, right? His game has been relatively rough. The fact he's against the Wind Ranger in lane, he's died a couple of times in questionable situations where maybe he could have just escaped.
Mm-hmm.
But his farm rate has been on point. I think average timing for Battle Fury on Ember is like 22.5 minutes. So he's pretty much on the money.
Yeah. With the DOTA travel build, yeah.
With BOTs as well, yeah. Not too shabby.
Oh, DDoSers. That's what Arise always says when he lags.
You mean Chailongqua?
Chailongqua. The greatest player this world has ever seen.
He's really just not good, though.
Have you seen this whole Radiant versus Dire is not randomly decided?
Yeah, I was reading through that earlier.
What? Give me the TLDR. It's not enough time to read that paragraph.
Oh, which way around was it? I think Dire side was given to stacks in pubs of like high MMR or the good win rates players or stacks, and then Radiant was given to solo players who had a good win rate. And then they talked about how the color coordination used to be, you know, like blue was highest MMR, pink was highest MMR for a while, until people noticed and started whining about it, and that was changed. Just read the middle paragraph, or the second paragraph. It should. It's not that interesting. I mean, who cares, honestly?
Why in the world is it that way, though?
Because Valve.
Were they just like trying to do something?
Lel. Where is it? Whether you're Radiant or Dire is not random. Yeah, Radiant was given to solo players and Dire was given to stacks. No idea. It just does. Things happen because...
Why are we getting pauses, by the way? D2CL is in the middle of their third game. And we're still in the middle of our second.
Um,
What's going on with pauses? They did an ARDM game though.
Oh, that's probably why.
Good job to whoever those teams were actually playing a fun mode.
Johnson.
Do you know what? By the way, do you know what limited heroes mode is?
Wait, limited, not least played.
No, there is a mode that is different from least played. Limited heroes.
It's just like heroes for noobs, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can play you can play Lich Viper and Dragon Knight. Here
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What heroes are? Well, what heroes are there though? Because I've never looked into this.
You know, Lich,
Limited.
Viper, Sniper,
Dragon Knight.
those kind of heroes. It's just terrible.
Is there a pool of heroes?
It's just terrible.
Show me the money.
I told Tobio that I would just leave the cast if I ever had to cast a limited heroes game.
Limited heroes: Bounty, Death Prophet, Dragon Knight, Drow Ranger, Juggernaut. It's the bots. It's the heroes the bots can play. Lich Lion,
Oh, is
Omni,
it?
Razor, Sand King, Wraith King, Sniper, Sven, Tidehunter, Venge, Viper, Warlock, Wind Ranger.
Bots will
Witch
replace
Doctor and
players
Zeus.
who leave in this mode.
Yeah.
So if one of your players is doing really bad, just convince him to leave. Let the bot take over.
I kind of miss Meepo being an ability draft. That was fun.
I mean, I want to cast an ability draft game. I want to do at least 1v1 solo mid. Just 'cause that would be hilarious.
But no, you know what? This
To have a tournament,
No.
have your whole entire fate determined by a 1v1.
No, do you know what they have to do in the 1v1 solo mid though?
What?
All 5 players have, like all 10 players have to be in the lobby.
Uh-huh.
One player gets the hero, but he has to share control with the rest of his team. So everyone gets to control the hero and the courier and stuff, right?
Everyone controls the one ability.
So yeah,
so
so you have
one
5
person-
people microing one hero. How sick would that be? What would be the best hero for that though? Can you can't like
It would probably be some sort of illusion hero.
no
That
what,
way you could have like somebody microing individual illusions.
it depends on the rules though. Because usually in 1v1 mid, you're not allowed to use like jungle or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But in this tournament, there won't be rules like that. It's just like, yeah, whatever. So I guess you could pick Chen or Enchantress or something and just go and do stuff. Buy a Helm of the Dominator, everyone controls a creep and run around. Or you can just pick Meepo.
That would probably be the best play. What a godly Meepo player that would be. Do we have a load option in Reborn?
Lol,
no.
no.
Get wrecked.
Can I just give him the XD question mark?
Oh, Rise getting DDoS? No way! No way! I didn't imagine that would be a thing.
It's never happened before. Someone's giving him the D.
DDoS is real. It's not how you spell real, friend.
We'll have the D in the studio later this weekend. We've got so many
Huh?
Ds. DotaPit,
Oh, yeah.
defense, D2CL.
Mm-hmm.
Durka.
The way there was just that pause and a very Durka. I'm here, guys.
I'm here as well.
I'm here too.
See, that's what you get from watching like Monty
Dota.
Python and John Cleese and stuff like that. It's that timing. You just got to wait for the perfect moment, and then you release the sadness.
What's happening right now? Why is my life like this, Durka?
Reborn.
Why is my life a pause?
How do we contact admin?
Hello.
Admin
There's
required.
a pause.
Oh, have you already? Excellent.
I mean, 23 minutes. I guess I'll just have to play on, huh?
Depends what the rules say.
Just making sure.
I don't know what the DotaPit rules are. Let's remake.
All right, the admin is here. They've got 2 more minutes of pause time. 2 minutes. If you guys want to be able to buy your tickets, the early bird DotaPit pass is up. Go to DotaPit.com and buy yourself a ticket for $15, $21, or $216. What do you get for the 16 one.
Parking, VIP skybox seats, food and drink, goodie bag. It's like the ESL premium ticket, basically.
Yeah.
And VIP after party access.
Oh, after party access.
Damn.
That's a real dream right there. That is the real dream.
So early bird gets regular ticket plus a free secret gift. That's the pit pass. Floor seats. Okay.
That's actually worth it. $16 for a VIP skybox and the after party, and you get food and drink. I'm pretty sure you would almost spend like $100 just on food and drink over 2 days.
How long was ESL 1? 4 days?
2 days.
Only 2 days?
In the stadium? Yeah. But there was
You sure?
part of the tournament in Cologne to set up the bracket.
Always feels like ESL 1 is longer. Because
It's a magical.
Because premium for ESL 1 is definitely worth it. Especially if there's free beer. Like that's the kicker, you know? You're not paying 5 Well, no, like if you want a beer, right, it's €5 to go down to the freaking
Yeah,
stall
exactly.
and
Stadium is.
get a crappy €5 beer, or it's free. And if you want a second beer, or a 10th beer, then, you know, you're looking at €50 or free.
I mean, I'm not sure why they want more time. Is this actually going to change anything?
I am unsure what's going to happen here. Kind of unfortunate. Especially seeing how, like, even this game is. Oh, hardline admin. At least he's, laying down the law.
Get him, admin.
I'm sorry. Go? That is a very apt effigy. Help.
Help. Help. I
Well,
need somebody.
We're going.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to game number 2 of Arcade Power Rangers versus Elements Pro Gaming. And that's the end.
Wait, are they forfeiting this game?
Forfeit game 2, I think. Good game, well played.
I hope they're not forfeiting the whole series. They'll play game 3, right?
I'm sure they will with some sort of stand-in.
Well, 2 of them have disconnected. But
Yeah.
oh, there we go. Okay. Well,
All right.
that was well worth the pause, Cap. That was well worth the 15-minute wait.
Yeah,
What an absolutely amazing ending. The climax was there. Nothing. Oh my God! Please.
I
kill
know.
me now.
I got mine. I hope you got yours. We're gonna take a short break and hopefully be back with game number 3.